uplinks, we see a lot of like crazy last-minute comebacks from our Marsoc teams on the attacking side, and they're able to really pull off some incredible individual plays, which are something you don't often see too much.
And this is what we love to hear. This is what we love to see. The team's getting themselves riled up and ready ahead of their first game here.
So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Loyaldogs cheering themselves on as they're going to be starting out on the attacking side. Meanwhile, Bossfight will take the mantle of the Volk and defend the uplink, which will be spawning in the South Street. Right in the middle, it's the tank spawn. So once again, this does mean our defenders will have to spread out pretty heavily due to the amount of access the attackers will have towards that. Very low chance we actually see the attackers even try to go for the uplink, considering how in the open this point is. But we've been surprised before. I can recall at least one time in the past where they've been able to sneak it off. So let's see if Loyaldogs are going to be able to put up a fight against Bossfight this time around.
Now, already seeing the smokes go out. We saw a lot of very crafty grenades come into play last time around. Already getting ourselves our first down going into it. Going to see the Loyaldogs on the back foot instantly. Bossfight taking the fight straight to him. Going to be able to reply very nicely here as we're going to watch them slowly try and work their way around it, but Bossfight are going to pick up a second one, and this is not the start Loyaldogs wanted whatsoever here.
Not at all. As soon as they work their way towards the mansion, it's just been really a culling of the members here for Loyaldogs. They've also lost a third player going into a downstate. Hasn't been knocked out just yet, but depending on where he is...
No, that's not APC.
It's a very good chance they might not even be able to get him back up. In the meanwhile, Weather Balloon is going to be able to finish off Pichu Power. Finishes him off relatively quickly, leaving only one player still standing here. It's Mousecraft. So he might be able to get the revive off onto one of his teammates. And there we go. Gary still in the fight, so they'll be able to bring him back up. They're up to 2 now, but still a lot of work to be done if they want to work their way back into this round and have a hope of taking it away from Bossfight.
The positioning we had there towards the west APC as well from Bossfight, he was able to get so much information. You heard him call it in, and they do a hell of a lot of damage on the Loyaldogs. Bossfight, they came out absolutely punching here on the opening game.
Got Weather Balloon getting pretty aggressive, working his way on the covered garage here too, the covered parking. He's going to try to push himself up. He's got a good possibility to pull off a double kill if he can find some good positioning, especially if he works with the bushes. Cesar, penetratable by bullets. The sandbags, not so much. You can see he's behind 3 big boxes, sneaking right up, finds Gary. Scooby-Doo is going to be able to strike from across the street in the meanwhile. Nicely done by Bossfight, getting a tactical execute against the last 2 members of Loyaldogs and picking up the first round.
Very convincing first round there as well. And what I loved from Bossfight there at the end is just, but you saw where Scorpio's position was. Even if they hadn't managed to get the opening kill with Weather Balloon pushing up and going a little bit more aggressive, he would have been able to potentially come in there and get the refrag, play off the information that they had there. Completely pinned down, and Loyaldogs, they need to turn that around very quickly going into this next side.
Yeah, Loyaldogs unfortunately just kind of throwing their weight at the site all at once, seemingly.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see too much about their, the way that they had formed up or their actual strategy here, but it just fell apart so quickly. So we're going to have to hope they kind of hone that in on future attacking rounds here. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a relatively bad game if that's going to be their general attack strategy going forward.
Yeah, you're going to have to adapt very quickly before the next game starts, that's for sure, because you don't want to be playing like that once again. And I think the positioning we just saw there from Bossfight was very key, because they were, as soon as Loyaldogs moved forward, they had him numbered. They had, okay, we know where he is, we know how to attack onto this, and I think the good positioning of how they hold street just by the uplink was very interesting.
Yeah, it seems like there was a lot of focus from Loyaldogs on trying to push the mansion specifically, but that's exactly what Bossfight expected, and their setup was almost perfectly positioned to counter that out at every single angle, and that's quite literally what happened. They tried to push the mansion or somewhat close to it, and they were found out so quickly. Anytime they tried to take a peek, it just led to instant death. So now the sides will switch. Bossfight take on the attacking side, and the Loyaldogs will move over to the Volk for the defense on the same uplink though, of course.
Now those shots being rattled off as the rest of the team make their way down past the East-White car. They've actually gone quite far forward here. They've already got to the burning house. They're trying to make this work. They're starting off with a bit of a frag come out back and forth. Their grenade's gone down as well. And again here on Suburbia, we see so many of these grenade kills come in. It's the predictability of some of these players when it comes to it.
Like I said, it's more so like the static defense and attack routes that we see a lot of teams falling into these days. It's what makes it easy to almost kind of pre-fire with the nades and have a pretty reliable pickup rate when it comes to these frag kills. I think that's why we see frag kills happening far more often on Suburbia when compared to a lot of the other maps in the pool, where the positioning is a little bit more of an kind of open book.
Gary's being found though, and Loyaldogs again, 2 players out early on. Bossfight do have the advantage, but they still got to find their way back into this and try and get themselves closer to this uplink. Uchi being cautious with the smoke going down. Scorpio's managed to find himself one onto Pichu. A very good start again from Bossfight, and they're just unrelenting in this. They're not looking to hold back, and this is getting very scary for Loyaldogs with just 2 players left alive, and they're both very close together. Instantly gets found though. Mousecraft shut out by Hoochie, and now it's all up to Donny. What can he get done here? You can see and hear what's going on, but which way are they going to come from? He's going to be completely pinned down here. The smoke does fade as well. They work his way around the side, and very nice against Weather Balloon. But it's not going to work out regardless.
So good denial, at least, as the game could have been over right there if we didn't see Donny push forward and actually see that uplink attempt right there. We could have been at a 3-0 within the first 2 rounds, basically. So he's at least able to deny the instant win for his opponents.
Yeah.
But still, in terms of the overall outcome of the round, very, very one-sided for Bossfight.
Yeah, Bossfight is saying, okay, look, we are the dominant force there, and we will show it to you. We're not going to allow you to have a little inch to work with and try and come back into it.
Yeah, so now we're going to have to see once again how Bossfight will try to turn that around. It's going to be a new uplink. They'll be back on the attack. Hopefully not running into the same problems we saw on that southern uplink. Hopefully they have a little bit of a better plan in terms of how to attack it, or at minimum just kind of slow things down. These have been 2 incredibly quick rounds as well, where the teams have basically thrown themselves at the site. Bossfight can do that though. That's the thing. Bossfight is a very prominent team and will have confidence against the Loyaldogs. So like we said before, been around for a while, but have failed to take down teams like Bossfight in the past. For the guys on Loyaldogs though, they need to take this slow. They need to take this tactically. They need to play into the playstyle of their opponents. Rushing into these situations, especially if they don't have a good idea as to the positionings of the members of Bossfight, is only going to get them killed that much quicker.
Well, that's a very good point to make as well, because what we saw from Loyaldogs on their first round was they rushed forward and tried that Bossfight approach, but didn't have the information to work off of, and actually Bossfight's positioning that helped them manage to get it done here. Now the uplink's changed position. We've got it all the way up towards the red car on the North Street.
In case you guys are wondering if you might be newer to this game or haven't seen it spectated before, why there's a bunch of random fire happening at the start of rounds, you'll see it happen more in Suburbia than anywhere else. And the reason is there's a lot of areas of the map that are somewhat bangable, like wall bangable, and sometimes teams get lucky and manage to get a kill early by doing this. We've seen this happen in the past. Once again, though, it's Bossfight starting off strong on the defense. It's a North Street defense once more. They've already been able to take down 1 member of Loyaldogs just about 20 seconds into the round.
Good positions once again from Bossfight, keeping all areas covered. More grenades going out. Scorpio's trying to get one off, and it is actually getting closer to him. Doesn't manage to down or kill off any players just yet with it. But that's, again, just information and knowledge that Bossfight have there, where they're saying, okay, this is an idea of where they might be at this particular time.
First, the Loyaldogs, Pichu Power specifically, getting a slight peek onto the North Street here. He can have, the CMC has a good idea as to where Lego's positioning, but Lego's behind some hard cover right now. Not really going to be able to penetrate through that. So unfortunately, he won't be able to pick up a kill so easily. Meanwhile, though, Scooby-Doo picks up a frag against Donny. Smokes are going to come out across the street here, potentially allowing for Loyaldogs to cross, but it's just not happening. Scorpio finding another down. Pakuno finally able to pick one up for himself. It's only a down though, so Bossfight can get that 5th player up if they even really need to. Even with the loss of that member, they're still at a 4v2 advantage against Loyaldogs at this point, so it probably isn't even really going to be a priority for Bossfight to get that 5th man back up.
This is the thing, Bossfight may have been so dominant here. Loyaldogs just running out of players, and once again, Scorpio is going to pick up another kill. Loyaldogs with just 1 left versus 4, and watch Bossfight come out. Scorpio's on the hunt. Chuchi finds the kill to down him, and the finish off will come in. Bossfight 3-0, and that is ever so comfortable.